And here we are. Ba ba da ba 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 da 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 da. How's it going, Chris?
Howdy.
Fantastic. Good, fantastic. It's a good week, I would say. I mean, it's better than the week I had a few weeks ago. So, feeling good, feeling fun and fancy free.
You
Back,
look it.
back at it again. Curious Creations. I know.
You thought you were rid of us.
Um, and I'm very excited because we have some cool stuff. We have first off a longtime character of yours. We actually just wrapped up the campaign. Now of course we'll have art form.
Post mortem.
I like to think it's memorializing the
Yeah.
incredible work that he did. But no, we can show off some, and of course at the end of the stream we'll have a nice little sneak peek of Spliced. I wanted to show off some of the playtest materials. But yeah, I'm very very excited to talk about Absolutely. Um, which let me.
Absolutely.
I figure today, while you're working on illustrating him, I will work on trying to make um the entire script of the 1998 TMNT. No, I'm not going to do that. No.
That's a good suggestion, though. Just that let's not take it off the table.
Yeah, but no, I'm not doing it. um, but yeah, I figured we talk about absolutely, and I can try and make a stat block for him while you're working on art for him, and see where we get. But let's just hop right into it, shall we? Now, absolutely, character that you made that was actually the brother of the original character in that campaign, Okie Dokie.
Yes.
He is
Pull up Oki here.
a frog folk. Let me pull up. There he is,
Look at this boy.
delightful frog boy.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Oop.
it's good that we have Nathan lurking, because I know they don't get nearly enough frogs in their life.
Frog up your life.
Um, but yeah, he was a delightful little frog folk. I actually made there's a new Pokemon called Okie Dokie.
No.
Martin.
No. No.
But I love all this beautiful art, and then that like MS Paint spider that you have.
The life of an art teacher, my friend.
Yes.
Got
Uh,
fish here.
I do like the fish. But yes, so we were playing the campaign, and you wanted to play a frog book, but you like, well, I don't really like the what was it, the grung or the bullywugs, because like bullywugs are
Yeah.
all supposed to be like mean, and they're 6 feet tall, and they're just like, and like
Gross.
the grungs. I remember you had two things. Firstly, they had like a weird caste system based off of
Yeah.
what color they are. That's like a
They're like,
really
oh yeah. And then
deeply
they're like mad
upsetting.
racists and have like slaves
Yeah.
and nonsense. Like, what the? Why can't we just have a nice frog in this system?
And then secondly, the grung have teeth, which I know you don't like the teeth.
Why got them teeth?
A frog with teeth is definitely very cursed.
I mean,
Um,
you keep your teeth behind your mouth, okay? Keep those teeth behind closed doors.
yes. But I ended up making a custom frog folk for you, and then it's like Okie Dokie was a druid, and I really liked what we did with him, and he got pretty far. What, like level 10?
I think so. Yeah, about 10. Yeah. Um, found out not great at managing spells with this poor ADHD stricken fellow. As much as I loved the flavor, there's a lot to chew.
Yes, but
so thus introduced his Paladin Oath of the Ancients, still nature based.
yeah,
Absolutely.
which I obviously love. Absolutely, I think that he's a great character. And I think that like we accomplished what we needed to accomplish with Okie Dokie, and then like absolutely, we literally just wrapped up the campaign last week. Was the final session. But yes, he's another little frog folk, and just like ridiculous and
yes, much more ADHD friendly. I was like, I hit it. I'm going to use that spell slot for my hitting it.
And then I have some ways. I'm not gonna just, you know me, I don't like to just port a character sheet into a stat block directly. I like to kind of take some liberties and fit into how you played him, and also how um, I think he would work as just a general stat block. But I figure I'll make some stats while you're working on the art of him. But he's a.
Yeah.
Why don't you go ahead and tell people what absolutely looked like? Because it was very interesting beyond being a frog guy.
Yeah. So I kind of thought of him as sort of he comes from sort of the same sort of swamp area. I imagine he was sort of this like guardian of, and this was never anything that we addressed, or if this is like a canon thing that exists. But I imagine that he was sort of like a guardian of like the gateways to the Fey realm, and he had to like keep things in check. We don't want things getting out, things getting in that shouldn't be. Um, and within the Ghosts of Saltmarsh campaign, we had had tied in that family as being captured by the Sahagwin, and he was a part of that with his family, and he felt very very shameful that he couldn't protect his family. So the child of the family, Okie Dokie, had to go save them.
Yeah.
But then absolutely, after that, he was like, I need to step up. And so we came up with a weapon which was like, imagine the sword and the stone, except you got too impatient that you weren't chosen, so you just took the whole stone with you.
Yeah.
So it was this like kind of geode encased giant great sword, for this 4-foot frogman, which is very large for the frog folk.
And I don't believe he used a shield. It was just he had the great sword.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then very much like kind of naturey, and I'll hopefully be able to illustrate this. Naturey, but less so like plants, because that was more his brother's thing, and he was more like the kind of the geode crystal type of vibe within his armor, and within that sword, that kind of crystal sword within the rock encasement.
Yeah. But what I liked is so it's like he started his armor and his sword, yeah, had where it was like mostly like stone and root and as you like continued with him and he did more impressive things, like parts of the stone like broke away, revealing the like beautiful sword within, um and like
Yeah,
the
it's like a
armor.
gradual, becoming the chosen one, as opposed to pulling the sword from the stone. It's like slowly revealing itself as you become more worthy.
And of
So
course
yeah, it was nice that you were very accommodating with that.
we had a beautiful moment right near the end where it was like the final form of the sword was revealed because you fought through to try and dispel this like acid rain storm that's like crashing lightning down and just like melting buildings, and you're like flying up at top speed, trying to dispel it, and so you're being like struck by lightning over and over and over again, um,
Right.
and it just like broke away the last segments of the sword. It made for a very good story moment. um, I was happy with that one. I like the I heard it's filled with the room with dry beans, but maybe that's just a rumor. Yeah.
Ah, beans.
Um, so, what was he? Paladin technically gets D10, though of course stat blocks are based off of size. So, small, that should drop it to a D6, so I'm gonna figure out. Hey! 8
Well.
months.
Well.
Wow.
We whizzing. Oh yeah.
Man. Nice. Um, okay.
All right. Start drawing a frogman. Yeah, this is like, this really sums up me uh in the old ADHD. It's like, I'll either make my character art before the campaign starts. Gainer knows that I've already got my token ready for we had before we had our session 0, and there's still some of them figuring out their characters. Like, I got him, he's done. Or it's like months in, or in this case, after the campaign is wrapped. So that I'm like, all right, let's get to making some art for this guy.
Topic of the- Yeah, we're working right on, and I am working on absolutely stat block. Let me show you all what I'm doing. Going on
Love
this.
that.
I know he's gonna have a really high con. I believe we had 21 or 22. At the very least, I think you capped it. Um, but as I said, I am changing a little bit, so he's not gonna go exactly the same stats that he had um, in um, in the game. Gainer says, in terms of this beautiful frog man, what kind of hot dog toppings does he like? I feel that should be reflected in the stat block. Definitely crucial.
Can we
Trying.
make that? Yeah, can we make that like a feature, special ability of his? So we got bean sword and hot dog. That's one. That's a channel divinity, I think, right?
Yeah, in terms of hot dog toppings, I feel like he's pretty classic. Mustard, relish, um,
He's just a gay.
or he
Just a
goes like
gay.
the full-on Chicago dog style, or is he New York style?
Is there a New Orleans hot dog? I gave him sort of a Cajun flair. Um,
Hmm.
what's a swamp dog? What would be on a swamp dog?
Meth.
Okay.
Just
Sure.
crawdads. Oh, that's actually, yeah.
There we go. Okay.
I could see like crawdad. Definitely, gotta have that like Cajun seasoning, like a barbecue Old Bay seasoning. God, this is a bad time to be talking about it because I haven't eaten today. I'm starving. I was gonna eat
Not eating
after the stream, and I'm just like,
after the
uh,
stream. All right, we got to
um,
make room for this big
I
ass sword.
believe he had a belt of fire giant strength, if I'm not mistaken.
He
Strength was
did.
really high, so it was like 25. Um,
So this is basically Guts Berserk the frog. A little bit of Chrono Trigger frog, a little bit of Guts.
yeah, I've
Uh,
not as much of the struggle of guts, but
oh, aesthetically speaking, because I haven't read it or watched too much of it. I think I watched one of the movies. Like, I
he's
like
just
that
like
vibe.
guts. Not the horrific trauma that guts went through, um, but definitely the aesthetic vibe, the giant sword. No eye patch, I don't think. Well, Guts doesn't wear an eye patch. His is just sewn shut. But I know his original design, he had an eye patch, and then where I didn't like it. He was
Nah.
like, I think he was like, I don't want to draw an eye patch all the time, and just like didn't do it. Notice if it actually uses a lot of FT and different creoles in the dog. Think chili dogs are super fancy chili. Use Italian sausage or Spanish dogs. Spicy. Nice. God, a chili
Thank
dog
you.
would be amazing right now.
Thank you.
I do love chili. My mother's from Texas, so like I didn't have a chance. Like growing up, I ate mad chili, so I'm just a huge fan. um, I think you've had when I like take the time to spend like 4 days making chili, from like slow cooking and doing this and actually like getting chilies and cutting them up and whatnot.
I
Instead of
feel like I would remember this, so thanks for the invite.
I've I swear that you have
Have you?
had chili
Have
that
I?
I've made.
Mm.
I don't do outrageously
We'll
spicy.
talk about
I
this
don't.
after the stream, sir.
um, you know what? Yes, you have, because I remember you visited me in my old apartment, and I made chili when you were coming, and you had the chili. Because I had also made um vegan chili for your wife to have.
Oh, that must have been some time ago.
Yes, years ago, in the before times. You know, 2020 was like 75 years ago now, so this was before that even. Would have been before, I think it was 2016, 2015.
Oh, is that when we came over and we played Dungeons and Dragons? Nerd alert.
I think it was before that even.
Oh, wow.
But I remember being like, goddamn vegan chili, I gotta look up how to make this shit, so I remember that specifically. It was very good. I had to look up how to make it. What was I doing? A fire giant belt. Double checking the strength of a fire giant belt. Okay, 25. So he has good old +7. This is what we do here on Curious Creations. We completely lost. If Okie Dokie, close enough spelling, were to make chili and put one whack-ass ingredient in it, what would it be? Corn?
Yes, he was more of a vegan type. So yeah, he would have the vegan chili, and then
like the
he would find some
mushroom.
stuff in the forest. Yeah, I remember there was lots of instances of him like, I made breakfast, and they're like, oh great, thanks. It's just some random berries and whatnot.
Remember his dex was not great. Right?
Absolutely.
Yes, absolutely.
Do I need to pull up his character sheet right now to get to the bottom of this? Okay. I had it open. I'm like, what am I going to need that for? What's he going to make a stat block for this character or something? Doubt it.
White. Hey, 12 months. Wow. Chris, I forgot that I've been an affiliate for a year now, because it was, I think, the end of January when I started my channel, and then like right before my birthday was when I hit affiliate. Shit. Hey, 1 year. Ba ba da ba 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 da da. Can't believe this is Alleghany's 1 year anniversary. Actually, we realized, because we were like thinking about it the other day when we went out to dinner, um, uh, we met each other, March 13th was the day after my birthday. Met each other March 13th, 2012. And I was like, damn, 11 years we've known each other.
Wowza.
Of course, we've been.
Absolutely has a 16 dex. Not
Hey, I
too
was
bad.
correct. Intelligence?
That was on the lower side. That was a 10.
Okay, a gentleman's 10.
Yeah, along with wisdom, also a 10. But he was a charismatic fellow.
Yes.
Being that he was a paladin.
I believe he had a. Was it maxed? Was it 20 or is that
At the end? Yeah, by the end of it, you guys finally talked me into not taking a feat. And I was like, oh, fine, bump up my stat.
Then I will max his. 11 years, that's like a real number. Yes. Ina and I met. I proposed the night I met her. She did not say yes. But jokes on her, because we got married. Well, I mean, we started dating that year, November, and then by the following March we were living together. And we got married a few years later. The love of my life. But now, for absolutely one thing that I really appreciated about him is like he usually tried to find like different solutions wouldn't just immediately go for like the most violent solution. I know Okie Dokie was definitely an even bigger pacifist, but he also ended up being the deadliest member of the party.
Like, I don't know, guys. I don't really want to hurt anybody, or I will lay waste to everybody. Don't push me. Yeah, there's some brutal stuff. The old druid. Turns out.
Yeah, you definitely made that spike growth blender a couple of times. Hey,
Right.
Skag, get you something by.
Hatty hatty.
You broke your screen protector. No, God, please no. Um, do a stream anniversary. That's much. I don't know that I'll do a stream anniversary. Thought about it. Though I will say, Gainer and Never you will be playing together pretty soon because you're both going to be in my playtest of Splice on Tuesday. Dropped it when I was at the doctor. Doctor's supposed to be a place of healing, not phone breaking. So we're gonna make him position a couple of saving throws. Obviously, paladins get, if I remember correctly, charisma and strength. I could be way the fuck off on that. But gets a nice +5 to all of his saving throws. So it is wisdom and charisma. Son of a bitch. That was close. Yeah, they wouldn't do too strong saves. So strength going to be +5. Is to add his charisma modifier to all of his. Dex is also plus. Let's see, 16 is +3. Yeah, 12, 14, 16, 8. Forgot to do that. +3, so +8 on Dex. +5 plus another 7. So 12 to strength +8 to Dex. Alec likes putting the screen protectors on anyway. I don't like doing it.
I break it for you.
because I'm willing to do it does not mean I'm just better at handling the stress of putting the screen protector on. Alec, don't lie, you fucking love it. Oh god, every day I live for putting screen protectors on. I'm constantly breaking my screen protector just so I can put a new one on.
My strange addiction. I'm addicted to putting on screen protectors.
+11 to con. Intelligence +5. Wisdom +6 +5, so 11. Jeez Louise. And then
We're not drawing them today.
charisma.
Another family member.
Thank you. So so charisma is going to be absolutely banana sandwiches, because it'll be +5, +10, plus an extra 6, so +16 to charisma saves. Can't handle the emotional responsibility of stickers, and the screen protector is an extension of that. Yeah, it absolutely is a there is an emotional component to putting stickers on stuff, and the screen protector is like
Oh,
a sticker that if you fuck it up, you fuck up your whole phone. So
I can't handle stickers. Yeah, I can't remember the last sticker I put on something. I have so many stickers that's a big commitment.
yeah. What would you say? I'm gonna limit this probably to three, I think. But what would you say would be his most vital skill checks he made pretty regularly? Because um I feel like perception was one. Obviously, he made all the time. Athletics,
Yeah, sure. Um, that's a big one for sure.
it'd be 7, plus another.
Survival, um, wasn't too bad. Athletics is definitely his highest.
I just mean like his most common.
Used, yeah, yeah. Yeah, I'd say between athletics, survival, insight was you know,
He
hit or
wasn't
miss.
he wasn't great at insight, but he did it all the time.
He's
Uh,
proficient in it, but I just would roll shit when it mattered.
um,
Perception, those are the big ones.
um,
Those are literally all the ones that he's proficient in: athletics, insight, perception, and survival.
I'm
So
gonna do perception, which was another +6. Um,
pardon
yeah,
my scribbles, folks. I'm just, we're fiddling around trying to get this pose.
yeah, gotta have that frog guts pose.
Right, right. How do I fit this sword that is too big for this character, but also show off his very large muscles?
Yeah. Um,
Am I showing off his buns right now? Could be. I don't know. His
battle
little
type
frog
stuff.
booty.
I don't know that he's doing the like female character in an action movie on the
Maybe a
poster.
little wink, little winky poo.
You remember for the movie poster for the first Avengers movie where it was like every man was like facing the audience ostensibly like yeah looking tough, and then for no reason Black Widow was turned around showing her ass and like doing the Charlie's Angel pose, and I'm like, come on. Like the only one not directly facing the um
All right, I just got to stop fighting it and just straight up, take this pose from this guts
hey,
illustration I'm looking at.
nothing wrong with that. um Not vulnerable to anything. He's resistant to acid and poison, if I remember correctly. Um,
Yes.
Not immune to anything,
No.
but he can't be
I mean,
charmed.
towards the end, it was like I think fear and crits through his armor and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
Um,
But he's immune to charmed, critical hits, disease, and frightened. Yeah.
okay. That's guts glutes.
Goats glutes.
Common. I don't remember the other ones. What did he speak?
Um, Aquin. And then I want to say it was like primordial or like Sylvan, but I lost one of my languages because I like fucked up my character sheet. So
I'll do them both. Challenge. I have no idea, but I'm gonna do his proficiency bonuses +6. So he's pretty high up there. And then let's take another gander at what I got going on so far. So you can see his saving throws are absolutely bananas. Like,
Hey.
eh, didn't even intend to do that, but no, they are ridiculous. Like, paladin saving throws are crazy. Um, then let's do so. He had adamantine armor, so any critical hit against Abso Lootli becomes a normal hit. Then what I'm gonna do is he's basically gonna auto smite on every hit, but he'll have the option of doing thunderous smite a few times because I know how much you love thunderous smite.
That was the go-to. Yes. It wasn't until like the last few games, like, okay, there's other smites, fine.
Which, like, the funniest thing is the other smites involve like saving throws and stuff, and that was
I was using them wrong. I was like, oh yeah, let's do this one with a con save on this big dragon. Sure, great idea.
That was like the one time I was like, this is the one time you don't need to experiment. Just do divine smite like max level on every hit.
I was trying to use. I had all this stuff. We were at level 20. I wanted to use them. I didn't even use all of it.
It was a good fight. Our final fight of that campaign was against Rupert Julyankin, otherwise known as Rupee the Kind, who was an ancient black dragon. Beyond that, he was technically. I used the stats of Beladros Witherbloom with a couple little changes. But he was like just shy of like a chromatic great worm. Nasty villain who had basically he and his son Billy Bones or Brimalentrobar, dragon name. The two of them had orchestrated every single horrible thing that you guys had to do the entire campaign. Like every villain tied back to them, like every bit of nonsense like there was very few like side quests that had nothing to do with them. There was some that you had no idea until like later on and you like found clues that were like, oh shit, it was them the whole time. That made it very exciting. I like having villains that are like really dastardly puppet masters the entire time. So I was very proud of Billy Bones and Ruby the Kind. It was a pirate themed campaign, so anyone who's gotten my Treasures of Pirate Court book will actually recognize Ruby the Kind, one of the pirate lords in it. I was very happy to use him for that campaign. And the nice thing is he was an ancient black dragon who had been cursed to have like a dragonborn form. He was an extra big dragon. He was like, I think I said he was like 12 feet tall, so he was like a large creature. But ostensibly was made to be like a dragonborn. They tried to kill him and couldn't do it, so they like sealed him into this like mortal form. And he had made a deal with the Pirate King to be like, oh, they're like, oh, I'll fix your curse if you work for me. But what he didn't realize, because he was too proud to realize, is like, if he had just let himself be reduced to 0 hit points, like the true polymorph would end and he'd go back to his normal self. So all he had to do was lose a fight, but being the proud dragon that he was, obviously he's never going to lose a fight intentionally, so he had just maintained for several centuries in this form. And then finally, at the end of the campaign, when you guys like beat him, it's like you knocked him out of his normal form, and then he takes his ancient dragon form, and it was crazy. But that fight lasted so long, we had to cut it from 4 phases down to 2. But it was a really, really fun fight, and I thought it was a really cool idea to have this like 2-part where like the first part was like super powerful sorcerer with like meta magic and like minions and crazy spells and like all this stuff, and once you beat him, like, okay, he doesn't have nearly as many spells. He really only had a 9th level slot and a couple other basic ones. But he's a dragon, so it was like, cool, we defeated him. Now he's a dragon. He's an ancient black dragon.
And it was very fitting that the killing blow was had by the our party like pirate character.
Yes,
So it wrapped up that party campaign very nicely.
that fit very, very well. I believe Abso had mobile, so his speed was 40 feet. Or no, it was 35 because it was normally 25, and then he had mobile.
No, he didn't have mobile.
No? I don't know why I remember
No.
him being faster.
Okie dokie did. No, he only had the 25, but you gave the frogfolk the bonus action leap ability where they could jump up to their movement, right?
That's what it was.
Or they could jump 20 feet or something like that. But basically, bonus action movement.
He could fucking zip around pretty fast.
But he used a lot of haste potions.
Yes, I am working that into his stat block.
And then I'm not gonna work him into this illustration, but towards the end, I busted out his greater steed, Ringo, the giant rhino beetle, yeah, like blue rhino beetle. Get it, beetle, Ringo. Oh.
Okay, Ringo was great though. But
the greater steed, yeah.
I will say it was nice to go to 20. That campaign lasted a little short of 2 years. It was like a year and 9 or 10 months. So I was happy that we got to get that far. You know, we did skip a couple. You guys got to like level 16 or 17, I think, and then we jumped a couple levels for the final fight. Hey, appreciate you, David.
Hey.
But yeah.
Yeah, we ended up like, just like, well, we know we want to get. We're already so close to 20, but do we want to just kind of skip a few levels and just kind of finish off, wrap up the narrative, and
yeah.
just keep making the muscles bigger. Itty bitty little feet.
So I am doing a feature where I'm actually going to make one of his attacks essentially the Thunderous Smite.
Nice.
Then I'll add some more of his. So I want to see about making a couple of stat blocks for the Splice playtest. Hey, I would love to see what you have in mind. We are going to, once we finish absolutely, show a little bit of stuff for Splice. I don't know how much we'll be able to work on it today, but we want to show off some of the stuff. But I am so thrilled. So I have a few people beyond my own stream of the playtest for Splice. I'll be doing 2 of them. I have, and I'll talk more about this at the end of the stream. But on Tuesdays, like on alternating Tuesdays, obviously, I do the stream with our friend Never, but I will be doing, alternating with that, I'll be doing a playtest of Splice here on my channel. Probably pretty short, 2 or 3 episodes, but just to show off the system a little bit. And then on Thursday evenings, I will be doing another one. That one, they're actually deciding the setting this week. We're gonna see what's happening, but I know David is playtesting on their own. I have a few other people playtesting. David's doing a Mass Effect kind of themed
Love that.
playtest of it. I have someone else who's doing more of like a Bloodborne style, like Victorian England with horrible eldritch monsters, and someone who's doing a like Dead Space style, um, stuck on a space station with like fucked up zombie aliens. Um, so I'm really, really thrilled to see like all the different creative ideas people have had and how how it's going. So chance I'll swing by during the stream playtesting. Hell yeah. Um, I know we are going to show off a little bit of Splice today. I don't know how much we'll be able to make for it, but I know we'll be able to show some of it off. Um,
Yeah, Alec was gracious enough to allow me this opportunity to finally work um on this portrait that's been long overdue. It's kind of the curse and the blessing of being a creator is you don't always make the stuff for yourself. So I'm like, well, I should be working on some of my other list of my wait list of commissions that I need to get through instead of doing my own thing. Um, so if we can make this content, and this is for the people. It's not just for me.
yeah,
Um, then I can justify it and also just get it done, get something started.
yeah. Um,
Very excited about our Pathfinder game that we're going to be starting on the day of the same day that we finished up this campaign. Been really enjoying digging into that system.
yeah. Um, I think it'll be really, really cool. Um, you know, I'm looking forward to it. I like David just said, I think I can use the example stat blocks for Geth Troopers. I want to make a Banshee stat block since the adventure will take place in the Asari homeworld. What could be cool for that would be to use the, what do you call it? The, like, deadly, ranged enemy that I have in there. And, um, their ranged weapon flavor it as them, like, um, doing some of their attacks, but um, and I would also flavor their movement as them teleporting because I remember they could teleport, and that was a fucking nightmare. But I'd probably give them a couple of hexes. I think in the latest version that I sent you, I have more hexes. Do you have the version that has just like 4 or 5, or the one that's like I think I have like 10? Because I did do some more hexes. I can send you that version. Um, I'm also deciding for absolute stat block. I don't know that I'll give him his Elder Champion action because like it's cool, but you used it once.
Oh, that level 21.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean I had it once, and so yeah,
Hmm.
yeah. Um,
Appreciate the follow. Um, well, we can see. Um,
eh,
Hex or two for biotic attacks. Yeah, I think some hexes would be a good way to go. Now, for absolute, I'm gonna jump back to his stat block as I'm working on it. Um, I definitely think damage wise, I'm probably gonna be pretty nasty. Um, but let's see here. Um, if he's gonna basically be like auto smiting on every single hit, so for those of you who are still just joining us, we're actually working on Abso Lootli, who's a character of Chris's. We just finished up the campaign, and I'm making a stat block form, which will make for a fun, ridiculous frogfolk paladin. So if I'll probably post this on Twitter. So if you are having a campaign and they're like, meet some elder champion of the of the forest, it can be this silly little frog guy. But if the party messes with him, he will absolutely kick their ass. So they'll be like,
absolutely.
exactly. They will learn an important lesson. Um, Positively riveting. Um,
Hey,
so to hit would be +7 plus 15, and then it was a +3 sword, if I remember correctly. +16 to hit. Um, 5 feet.
yeah, it ended on +17 in the game.
Um, that's right, because it was. Let's see. Yeah. Um, I'm giving him 3 attacks instead of 2, so.
Sure.
5 feet, 1 target. Um,
Permanently hasted.
Pretty much. That's kind of my thinking. Um, that's why I also might jump up his speed too. Um, and then his a great sword, so it should be 2d6. Um, so that is, I can do math. 7, 7, so 14. So d6 plus 7 plus an extra 3. Actually, now I'm thinking about it, plus 10. Jesus Christ, this dude hits like a truck. Slashing damage. Plus, it'll be minimum 3d8. I'm thinking 4d8. Yeah. So that would be 48 is 18 average. He's Louise. So on average, he's doing over 30 damage per hit, and he's doing 3 hits. I mean, I wanted to make him tough, man.
He's a big boy.
Uh,
He's a big boy.
Target is undead, or they take an additional.
And then imagine this, coming from a 4-foot frog with a 4-foot sword.
But I figured it was probably even bigger than he was, like
5-foot sword.
5 foot sword.
Yeah, it's a great sword for a larger creature than him.
Yeah. Like I know an average Zweihander can be like 5 to 6 feet long.
There
So,
you go. Yeah, not like it was made smaller.
you know, whenever I think of Zweihanders, I always think of one of my favorite pictures of all time of the guy wearing the mask and he has a Zweihander in each hand. Um, just do yourself a favor and Google that image. Very funny. Wearing like a masquerade mask and um, double fist Zweihanders. Blade. Then we'll do Thunderous. Um, extra 2, 6 thunder. Bump that up too. What I'm thinking I'm gonna do for the Thunderous Slam to kind of re-flavor it as skosh is like he can slash with the sword, right? Or he can like hit with the pommel of it, or he can just hit with the flat of the sword, which is what does the Thunderous Smite. So it's gonna do bludgeoning instead of slashing.
Yeah, I imagine that bludgeoning, he just got so used to just smashing stuff with it
Yeah.
while it was still encased in stone that he's just used to just, yeah, smashing things with it.
And then
Clobbering smite.
covering some. So 2d6 is normal for Thunderous Smite. Does not actually scale, which I always thought was interesting.
I know. I would definitely have used it more.
I
If
know
it could
you
go
would have.
beyond level 1. Yeah.
I know you would have. So I'm thinking probably gonna do as if it could be leveled up to like level 3. So that'd probably make it 4d6. Plus it'll knock them prone, push them. Um yeah. So 4d6 will make it I can do math. I can't. I mean I can, but why would I? 14. Okay. 46 thunder damage. And the target must make a succeed on a DC. It would be 8 plus 6, so 14 plus 5, so 19 constitutions. No, strength save. Saving throw. Pushed. And beat away and knocked prone. Okay. Then I'm going to do Shield of the Ancients, which is a nice little +2 to his AC that he does not need to concentrate on.
That was always nice.
Yes.
I mean, you came up with it with his part of the sword, and there was still a few times where I was like, so I'm pretty sure that should knock down the concentration of your Shield of Faith. What concentration?
Um,
It's always my favorite too when it's like an ability that you came up with or an item that you made, and you're like, "Jeez, this is bullshit."
Yeah.
Who came up with this shit?
I mean, you don't forget that I do hate myself, so I do that kind of shit to myself all the time.
Oh, future Brian's gonna love this.
Oh, future Brian has a lot of feelings. Um,
Don't make the sword look like a penis. Doot deep boobity boop.
yeah. Let's look back at what you're doing now that you just said that.
Oh, go on.
Please. Working on a water-themed fighter, which is based on Tanjiro from the Demon Slayer. I have not seen Demon Slayer, which I know plenty of people are like, oh, what? I don't know. I haven't seen it. I have a life. They don't have time to fucking do anything that I ever want to do besides work.
Okay. All right. Walk it back a little bit there.
Just. Also, I don't watch fucking anime. No, I do watch
Japanimation over here.
I do watch some animes here, but like, it's funny. I have literally next to like I have my monitors right here, and then the third is my TV screen, my PlayStation. So that like ostensibly, even when I'm like, oh, I'm between games, I don't really need to be working on anything right this moment. I could play a game, or I still don't do it. I don't do it. It's so convenient and so right next to me. But I'm like, yeah, but if I stop working on stuff, the goblins will attack me. Is what my brain says.
I mean, well, that's how it is. I understand that. That's ADHD demons.
Working on
for you.
TTRPG stuff fills the void momentarily. So, that's
Can't catch me if I never stop moving.
What was the like very much like Hulk in the first fucking Avengers? Like, that's my secret.
That's my secret cap.
I'm always working on TTRPG shit. Always thinking about it, at least.
I think I'm still gonna have like some little stone bits kind of on the sword to kind of show its journey.
Sure.
You can't stop me.
Yeah, that do anything for you?
Eh.
Oh, okay.
Your character, dude. Jeez. Whoop. Wrong layer, Chris. Idiot.
I'm wondering if I should give him like a mythic actions kind of situation.
A good one.
That would make his stat block so much more complicated, but it would be cool. Why do I do this?
Yeah, another thing you love to do is like something that I wouldn't even conceive of. You'll dangle that carrot, and now it's like, well, now I have to have that, even if you change your mind.
I'm just like, oh, what if I do? I'm like, oh, it'd be annoying, and then my brain's like, yeah, but you gotta. But have you considered that you gotta? Okay, I'm gonna do a fucking stupid ass mythic action.
What does that entail?
So if he drops to 0, he regains like all of his hit points essentially, and starts going fucking ham again, and gets like new legendary actions.
Oh, man, yeah, I don't even know.
I'm doing it.
All right, he's doing it. It's on you. Your funeral. I don't know.
I'm home and I have your birthday present. Well, we're gonna end the stream, folks. This has been delightful.
Ooh.
um, I made a stat block
Happy
of a Chili's.
birthday.
Chili's would be one.
I heard Chili's, and now I'm disappointed.
We were talking about chili earlier. I'm very hungry and thirsty. Have not eaten enough today. I didn't really eat anything today. All I've had was coffee. So that's on me. And what are you gonna do? If absolutely would be reduced.
Oh, he did it on the wrong layer again. You fool!
Arrogance.
Fix it. We can fix it.
Point. Instead, resets to 50 and actually no. Oh, actually, that's what I'll do. Okay. Got it. Thanks, baby.
Wow.
Actually brought me a water and is coming here with my wrapped present on me.
Oh, just gonna leave this right here.
Just the nice wrap. Thank you. Thank you.
Don't mind me.
Oh no.
Okay, thank you. All right. Well, yeah, what I'm gonna do for his mythic actions will recharge. So I'm gonna make his thunderous slam a recharge. I'm gonna up how much damage it does. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Okay. So, I definitely am getting big Battletoads vibes from what you're doing.
Having fun with this sword. Look at that.
I like it. Thunderous slam. Additionally, he can now use the options in the mythic action section in the path. Gonna decide what his CR is. 22. I think 22. Be the Ninja Turtles magic cousin. Yeah.
Well, you haven't seen my other character, Caravaggio, the Ninja Turtle.
I do love Caravaggio.
Jumping in real quick here. He's way back. Ooh, maybe. There we go. What's up? Oh, that's not him. There he is. Of course, we got Splinter. Originally played as a rogue, but ended up playing the Way of Silent Death monk of Mr. Alakazam, and that was a ton of fun. Just all kinds of monk nonsense with ninja weapons. And then his skateboard of speed, reflavored boots of
haste.
Speed of haste.
Oh yeah, boots of speed. I think is.
It was boots of speed, right? Yeah.
I don't know.
This was the kind of what made me fall in love with the Oath of the Ancients paladin too. I was working on this character for our friend Ian, originally for the Tournament of Doors, but still was just a fun piece to work on, even if it's not gonna have any foreseeable usage. I know you've certainly used your character from that.
I don't like anything to go to waste, so.
Oh yeah.
Chris is joining us next time on Homebrew 101. I believe so. But that Chris will probably answer that better than I can.
Yeah, it sounds like fun. I'm apparently I'm being pulled in two directions though, depending on the timing. If I'm going to be needed on which stream when. So we'll see how all the logistics will work out. But that sounds like a ton of fun. So I'm down if it works out, scheduling wise. Whatever Alex says, I'm allowed to do.
No, thank you. Don't do that.
Was it Chi-Chi Devane on the All Stars? Whatever Mama says.
Oh, God. Okay. Now we're gonna do. We have his bonus section. Now we're gonna do his legendary actions and his mythic actions. Then. Go ahead and.
All right. I guess I'll work on the actual character. Who doesn't love just drawn swords though? You know what 12-year-old boy didn't have a whole page of swords?
Yeah.
All your various weapons.
That green peen got some funky bumps, is what my wife just put in the chat. I had to read that with my own two eyeballs. Needed you to be aware of it. That green bean got some funky bumps.
Oh, see, we never came up with an official name for the crew in that campaign. Green Bean and the Funky Bumps. I think.
Nailed it.
I think we got it. We done it, folks.
Jesus Christ.
All right. I guess he should wear pants too. I don't know how everyone feels about pants around here.
Ugh.
Apparently, it takes some time and resources on my computer to scroll through the like 230 references I've saved over time for this character.
Jesus Christ.
Green bean and the funky bunch.
Funky bumps. How dare you?
Funky bumpy bunch.
Speed. Smooth. No, doesn't. X. I also need to put in his reactions your fucking bullshit ass sentinel.
Oh.
I
Who loves
I
me
will
a
say
sentinel?
as a DM, like I like really powerful characters who can do crazy stuff, and I like a cool intense fight where this Sentinel is one of the few. It's one of like 3 things that I'm like I hate Sentinel.
It was funny too because Matthew was like in our core crew, but he had to leave for a while. And I've been playing in some of his games, also with Sentinel, on that character Caravaggio, and on Rodolfo, who was in Squid Menace. So to go too, and so needless to say, yeah, he was a bit sick of it. So he had a visceral reaction when we were playing our final fight, where he's on our side, but he's still as a DM like, oh god. I'm like, no. It's helping you now. It's not against you anymore. You don't have to be afraid of the Sentinel.
Okay. I'm just deciding his legendary action stuff. Let's. On my notes side.
Step away momentarily to feed these starving babies.
Yes. Want them to starve.
Or to turn on me.
Also, just as likely an option. So, thinking. Bonus match. That. Adding legendary action.
I always forget how much I whip around my screen until watching back the stream. Just like, oh geez, I'm sorry. We need a warning.
It it's always interesting. Like I've noticed rewatching some of these, like some of the things that I say over and over again.
Oh yeah.
Hmm. And then what I would probably say, I have two legendary actions. I'll add one more and then add a quick action. Done with it. Getting to that point. Oh yeah.
Okay. Big dramatic cape.
Let's see. 10 the what? I'm just gonna pull out the calculator because I am bad at math. Whoop. Okay. I'll see you around, David. Appreciate you hanging out. We're getting near
Hey,
the end
yeah.
here. I think what I'll probably do is once I finish this up, I'll do a quick sneak peek at Splice, and then we're gonna wrap up for today. So probably not going too much longer.
I don't know how fabric works.
Hmm. Okay. And quick actions, pretty simple. Actually. So we gotta. You always forget when I'm like in the zone and making.
We're
Going
both
over
in the
everything.
zone. We need a third person
Yeah.
to moderate here.
Um. Yes.
Hello, people. You like pantsless frogs with giant lumpy penis swords?
Jesus Christ. Um. But I will say, absolutely was like such a delight to have in the campaign, and I think that stat block wise, it should reflect just how much of a ridiculous bastard he was in combat. Um.
Yeah, I know I was telling you that after we finished up the campaign, I found myself just kind of like I couldn't close the character sheet. I just had it open for a few days. I just kept looking at it like, wow, look at that. Look how far we came. And look at all these things that I will never use again. All these abilities and special items.
Yeah.
Which, yeah, could be seen as a sad thing, but also it's just sort of a wow.
Kind of,
Um,
kind of beautiful.
yeah. Just, closing of a chapter. Like you said, it was like, going on a couple years, right?
Yeah.
Almost 2 years.
Yeah.
Um, and I think that was kind of it was a nice time for both of us. For me, that was kind of getting back into finally being able to play consistently again. Was in that game, and with such a nice group to play with. I was just um, responding to a question in one of the D&D Facebook groups about like the idea of people some people critiquing paid DMing, as being like, oh, well, why would I want to play with a bunch of strangers? And the question was like, how many of you have found that, yeah, maybe they started off as strangers, but then they become friends, right? And I could definitely attest to that. While yes, you are my longtime best friend that was DMing, that was definitely a big contributing factor. And I know it can be a little bit scary of like finding the right DM, the right group, but everyone else, yeah, I didn't know it all, and but I think most of them, at least the ones that stuck around, I definitely consider friends now. Um, so
Yeah.
especially being in a situation where it's like, yeah, I have enjoyed playing in person, but um, part of the drawback is that classic, trying to get everyone schedule to align. The age old struggle, but I think the benefit of having that consistent paid game is people are literally invested and are more likely to show up
Yeah.
and take it seriously, you know. Um, so definitely has some big benefits, and then just the ability to play with you remotely, was definitely a big factor. Um, so that
Yeah,
kind of kicked off playing a lot more, after that.
that was like something that I found being a pro DM is like so many of my players have just become really good friends, you know.
Mhm.
And that makes a huge difference in how enjoyable the work is and how bearable it is for like the amount of work that it is. Um, it's um, it's really nice to have times that like even if I know that um, was maybe in a place of like, okay, let's do the game, but like we could all like talk and be friendly and I know especially that game we had like more than a few times where we just like would get caught up talking and just having fun.
Mhm. Or,
Not
"Hey,
even
I'm just not feeling up to, the investment of playing the game, but I still want to, chat." Um,
and and it was really nice to have you know obviously like reason and you gotta do, but it's nice to realize that we can all work with and understand each other so well. Um, yeah.
oh, just looking at frog eyes right now. Like, okay, should I give him the, like, horizontal weird marks? It's just
That's up to you. There's a point where it's like, does it look weirder to have it or to not have it?
Right? Oh, yeah. I like my characters to just be a little bit stupid looking.
Just a little.
Like, look how buff this guy is, but he's got this dumb frog face on top. Kind of like some of the like weird medieval art, where it's just like, what? Did this person ever see this animal before?
Okay, I got his stat block. Take a take a look, and then I think we're gonna jump over to doing a quick, tiny little quick preview of Spliced. We'll wrap up for today. Um, let's take one last look at what you got so far.
Threw in a little placeholder face for now, just to get a little bit of the vibe.
I like the frog eyes, man.
Yeah. Like, oh yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
I liked we did our session 0 yesterday, and I veiled the accent I was doing for my new character, and I loved the reaction of just like, oh, okay, we're playing with this character. Gotcha.
Yes. It does make a big difference. All right, so let's take a quick gander. So Absolutely, stat block is, of course, ridiculous, as I mentioned. 21 AC, 23 with his Shield of the Ancients, 304 hit points, which was on par with about what you had. You had like 200 something, so I bumped it a little bit. Not very fast, 25 speed. Pretty solid stats, except for his intelligence and wisdom are just 10s. Crazy saving throws, plus 13 strength, plus 17 charisma. And then athletics, perception, survival, he's all proficient. Is going to be immune to charmed, frightened, poisoned. Any critical hit against him becomes a normal hit. Him and creatures of his choice within 30 feet have resistance to damage from spells, immune to disease, and being poisoned. But mythic actions. If he drops a 0, he instead resets to 250 hit points and gets the mythic actions.
Oh, foolish.
He makes 3 ancient blade attacks, which do 2d6 plus 10 slashing plus 48 radiant. Of course. Or Thunderous Slam, which does 2d6 plus 10 bludgeoning plus 8d6 thunder, and they have to make a strength save or be pushed away and knocked prone. You can use the Shield of the Ancients once a day, gives him plus 2 to AC for a minute. Legendary actions, he can make an attack, he can leap, or he can do his Ancient Technique, which is ostensibly Heal Wind Strike, but it's not a spell for this one, so it can't be counterspelled.
Oh, baby.
Mythic actions, he gets his Healing Touch, so he can heal himself for someone within 5 feet. And Thunderous Stomp, which is like his Thunderous Slam, but it does thunder damage to every creature within 5 feet of him, and they have to make a save or be knocked prone. So, I think he looks pretty great. And I'm very excited to get this stat block out in the world. I'll post this up on Twitter later today. But while I take this, I did promise everybody a sneak peek of Splice today, so that's what I'm gonna do. So
you asked for it, folks.
I'm not gonna go crazy. But let's take a little look.
While you do that, I'm gonna actually follow through and feed these animals.
You'll see more of this. As I said, what I'm going to be doing is on alternate Tuesdays coming up from it's looking at 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. That might change a little bit, but 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Eastern Time, we will be doing a special playtest of Spliced. Be doing a stream. I have some pretty cool players already. Finishing up, but we're going to be doing session 0 pretty soon. So in a couple weeks, the first episode will come out. And then Thursday evenings from 7 p.m. To probably 9 p.m., 9:30 at the latest, we will be doing another one, which those players are already deciding which setting they'd like to play in. But Spliced is a setting agnostic occult TTRPG. It's made so you can play any kind of story as long as it deals with supernatural themes of normal people dealing with shit wildly outside of their control, whether they be eldritch monsters, ghosts, zombies, people with superpowers, doesn't matter. A huge portion of Spliced is made to be left up to how you want to flavor things. So that means that Things like weapons, armor, all that stuff has some very basic mechanical, stats. The rest of it, you decide how it works. So what I will show you all, for the sake of this, when you make your character, you're going to determine your origins. You choose occupation, similar to your class, generate your abilities, and choose here. I'm just gonna scoot on ahead to some of the occupation: archivist, doctor, driver, guerrilla, grifter, hired gun, inventor, preacher, ringleader, or trader. I'm gonna scoot right past them. Ability scores, skills. Their abilities are broken down into 6 main abilities of nerve, agility, savvy, finesse, empathy, and resolve. You'll see more about what these mean and the skills attached to them when the playtest comes out. Already have some lovely art by the amazing Ina Coffin right there. But I actually want to talk a skosh about how weapons work. Now, Spliced is deals with some dangerous stuff. You have to be able to defend yourself. So, this is how a quick gander at how weapons work for Spliced. And this you get to super flavor for how it works for your character. So, you don't need to worry too much about, it's agility and the this and that. But essentially, you make your check to see if you hit. If it's a melee weapon, you use your melee weapon skill. If it's a handgun, use a handgun skill. If it's a rifle or something with your shoulder arm skill. Pretty straightforward. But you'll notice that instead of saying sword, lance, spear, handgun, this and that, it says light melee, light handgun, medium handgun. That's because you get to decide how it works. For your character, are you playing in a more fantasy world where you're using a longbow? Cool, that can count as a medium rifle for you. Are you playing in a futuristic setting where you're on some space station in 2299? Okay, cool, you have some rail rifle, also works as a medium rifle. I give plenty of examples of different kinds of weapons, but it is totally up to you. I have in one playtest, someone is already talking about, I am a superhero who does energy blasts, so they're counting it as a heavy handgun. Only thing that matters is what skill you use, how much damage it does, the size of the magazine, which is how many times you can do it before you have to spend an action to reload. Obviously, melee weapons are infinite. And then the range. The last thing I'll talk about before we wrap up the little review of Splice today, but range Spliced broken down into 4 numbers. Make this super simple, both narratively or if you're using a grid. Like if you're doing Theater of the Mind, have touch, short, medium, and long. Touch range is anything at arm's length, so within 5 feet. So if you're playing on a grid with, or if you are using actual feet and this and that, then touch range is within 5 feet. But otherwise, if you're just doing Theater of the Mind, if they can touch you, they're within touch range. Short range, mechanically, is going to be 5 to 30 feet. I do mention that each grid is supposed to represent a 5-foot square, but so that'll be one square, more than one square away to 30 feet, so 6 squares away. But you have short range is 5 to 30 feet. Again, very simple to understand short range in terms of Theater of the Mind. Medium range is 30 feet to 150. Someone across the street or down the street a little bit. And then long range is 150 to 1,000. You can try and hit further than that, but it's going to be really difficult. The DM has to allow it. But as you can see, whether you're saying, oh, my heavy melee weapon is, some of the examples I give, a fire axe or a stun baton, or you can say oh no, my medium handgun is a crossbow or a laser pistol. Doesn't matter. The point is, everyone gets to have these very simple, easy to read stat blocks for what their weapons do and flavor them however fits. And you can even mix it up. I have one that I am working on. This is something Chris and I have talked about, that everyone in the party is a time traveler.
Oh yes.
And so one person uses like, old west style revolver, where someone else is a robot, from the future, and they use they're like a robot samurai. They use a katana. Like, okay, well, players don't need to worry about, well, how does a katana wielded by a robot pair against a, it's like, doesn't matter. It's a heavy melee weapon and a heavy handgun. You know, it's very, very easy to track weapons. And of course, a little further down, you'll see we have stuff like body mods. And these right here, one of my favorite things in the whole system, hexes, which are like special spell effects. Some of them do cool, interesting magic things, like, oh, you can do damage and they have to make a check, or they're staggered, which is a condition you can impose, or like, oh, you can try and like get insight about them, but you have bonuses to attack rolls for a minute. Other ones just do crazy damage, or stuff that's like, oh, it does damage and it sets them on fire, so they take damage every turn. That kind of stuff is up to you. The main rule set is going to come with, I believe, 16 weapons. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 14 weapons, excuse me. And 22 hexes. You can see I have body mods, special armor, a whole section dedicated to combat, and some other cool stuff. So, hope you're all as excited about these Splice playtests as I am. In the meantime, I think we're going to probably wrap it up for today. It's been super awesome. Chris, tell people where they can find you.
You can find me here Thursday. You can also find me maybe on streams here, but you can also find me anytime on under C Leverett Art on Instagram and Twitter, where you can see some of these things that we've worked on. It's been mostly Curious Creations things lately. I'm catching up on some of my other commissions, but this has been a nice, consistent, fun thing that I can get some work done.
Yeah. Well, beyond that, I am Alakazam, a pro DM, purveyor of all things homebrew, and find me on Twitter, Instagram, Patreon, Ko-fi, all those places at Alakazam. Like I said, coming up, I'll have the 2 different playtest streams of Spliced. More information about those on Twitter as I, get closer to them. You can also find me on Redemption VA's channel every other week, doing their Call of Cthulhu stream, where I play Hannibal, a very ridiculous character. I will not be on it next week, but the following episode I will be on. And then, of course, every other Tuesday, I believe the 4th is the next time I'm going to be on it, but I will be doing Homebrew 101 on Never Let Her Lunch channel. So you can check me out there, where we work on Homebrew together, kind of more of teaching how to create Homebrew. So if you want to learn more about how Homebrew works, Never's also working on a Homebrew class right now that we kind of tooling as we go.
Yeah, that reminds me. You may see me along with Mattman TH next week if we can get all the timing lined up. We'll do some art stuff on there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But either way, this has been an absolute blast. Thank all of you for hanging
Absolutely.
out. And stay magical, my friends. You know what I'm always gonna say? Keep on whizzing.